Ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, brothers and sisters around the world, it is your boy Crucial, aka the Esoteric Noetic, aka the Chocolate Nubian Soul Brother. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, click on the bell, tell your friends, tell your mom. Now, we're going to try something a little different today. I recently purchased one of these. It is an EMF tester. So this thing is used to test out the levels of electromagnetic radiation around various objects and various environments. And this is something that's become quite a concern for me lately because, one, I have electrosensitivity, so I'm actually very sensitive to areas with a high level of electromagnetic fields. I can actually feel it. It's uncomfortable. For a long time, over a decade ago, I'd be telling people I'd be feeling this annoying pulse in my brain anytime I was around power lines, and they thought it was all in my head. Turns out it wasn't, as I knew it wasn't. And some years later, they actually confirmed that, yeah, people do have this condition, electrosensitivity, where people have it on different levels. There are some people that actually internally bleed when they're around areas that have high electromagnetic radiation. Now, I don't have it anywhere near that bad. It's just sometimes a little uncomfortable when I'm around power lines. But being a geek, being someone that uses a lot of technology, I want to make sure that my exposure is kept to a minimum level. And I do use a lot of appliances that have electromagnetic radiation, produce electromagnetic radiation. So I wanted to do a test and see what the levels are. So we're going to go around my neighborhood and we're going to see what the levels are in the environment and test this in some appliances and see how we go. So at the moment, the reading is at 0.1. It's actually 0.1, just around my station here. So it seems like there are quite a few power lines here. So there's one right up ahead, you can see. Let's check this one out here. Currently not getting any strong signal. And here we go. As I get closer, you can see this going up. It's at it's fluctuating between 0.3. Oh, it's 4. Here we go. So it's kind of leveling out now, but it's at 4.5. 5. So this is the biggest problem for me when I'm around, not these particular, I can't feel this, but when I'm around massive power lines, I can feel this. But obviously this isn't at a level that's strong enough for me to sense, but this is where this thing comes in handy. So we got about a reading of 5 here. And now there's a 5G tower a little further up ahead. Now, I'm going to see if I can get to that. What do you say we do a little journey, see if we can get to the 5G tower and see if we can get a measurement, all right? Now, at the moment, I'm still measuring at about 1. This is just around my local area, not even inside. We are heavily fluctuated with this electromagnetic radiation. And I guess the thing that you're asking yourself is this stuff dangerous, right? And that is the $1 million question. Now, obviously, the big companies will tell you that it's perfectly safe, and the conspiracy-minded folk like myself will tell you that there is definitely cause for concern. Now, there are always tests to show evidence that this stuff is dangerous, that this stuff is not dangerous, but you'll find they have done tests on living animals that are exposed to high levels of radiation from cell phones, and 100% it does have a tangible effect, a detrimental effect on these animals. Now, the question is, at what dose does this become dangerous? Now, I like to take on a more practical approach to this. It's about minimizing your exposure. Because at the end of the day, unless you want to be living on a desert island, in this 21st century, you're going to have some kind of exposure to electromagnetic fields. So one thing I've started doing is I've started not using my microwave as much as I typically would, and turning off my phone. Now, one thing I've noticed is that your phone, typically when the battery is low, uses a tremendous amount of produces a lot of electromagnetic radiation. So ultimately, you want to stop using your phone when the battery's low, and try to go in airplane mode as much as you can. Now here's another tower. Yeah, it's measuring around 1.52. Not sure if you can see this, but yeah, about the same rating as before. And just up ahead, not sure if you guys can see this, but we got a 5G tower. Let's see if I can get a good angle on this. All right. It's a little tricky to, there we go. It's about, let's say, 20 meters away from me. Let's see if I can get any closer. Now, not picking up any radiation at present, which is good. But I have no doubt that if I got any closer, this thing would be scaling up. Now, I don't think I can get any closer to the 5G tower, unfortunately. But I've actually looked at some other videos, and those things do put out a lot of EMF. So unfortunately, I can't get to the 5G tower. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at some normal day-to-day appliances, and we'll see how that fares. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm at my humble abode now, and we're going to check out what the reading is on some of the appliances I have here. Now, let's start off with the big one. The one everyone is wanting to know is how dangerous are these cell phones? So I have an iPhone 11 here, and we're going to see what the electromagnetic radiation level is on this once you make calls. So at present, the good thing is the reading is still at 0.0. Yeah, no activity right now. Let me see if I can get a clear shot of this for you guys. No activity. Now I'm going to try making a call. Okay, so it's making a call now. And we're getting a bit of activity, guys. It's only at 0.91. Not too bad. Can you see that? So we've gotten up to about, it's interesting, once this thing gets going, we're getting to 2.5, 3.5 mg, whatever that is. So we're at about 3.5 mg now. Here's an interesting thing that I got recently. Now, apparently this claims to reduce the electromagnetic radiation being emitted by phones. This device over here, got a 6-pack of these, and I'm gonna see if this has any beneficial effect on reducing the electromagnetic radiation during calls. So put this on now. Now let's see what the okay, let's try that again. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I just called, and what? Oh, actually, so yeah, it's working. It's only getting to 0.4 now. Fantastic. So this device here has actually cut it down almost completely. We're getting 0.1, 0.3, 0.4. Amazing. All right. Now I'm going to try, now one thing I've been wanting to test out is if this Bluetooth headset device is better than using your cellular phone. Now, in fact, the standard recommendation is to use these handset devices. Apparently, it's a lot better than putting your phone to your head for that matter. But I wanted to see if it's better to actually use the phone on speaker or to actually use these headsets, because they're right up to your ear, so I don't know what the radiation is going to be like. But this is a big test for me, so let's check this out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to do a test with my iPhone 11 Pro versus my Bluetooth headset device, this thing over here, and see which one produces more radiation when it's making calls. Now, at present, this is picking no radiation, have not made any calls. Now we're going to try calling and seeing what the radiation levels are like. Okay, now bearing in mind this iPhone produces a lot more radiation apparently than the previous models. Okay, let's see what's going on here. 0.4, still quite low actually. So about 0.7, 1.5. Okay, now we're going to see what the Bluetooth headset device is like. Nothing. And this is just a meter away. Now, it's connected to the Bluetooth, mind you. Nothing. And let's have a look right next to. Okay. It's not picking up anything right now. Okay, here we go. 1.6. Now let's try just getting a little further away. Still seems pretty good. But no doubt it's better to use the Bluetooth headset devices. That has no radiation even when you put it point blank. I mean, even just a little further away, I'm still picking up radiation from the phone. But from the Bluetooth, nothing. Now I want to try some other devices. Bearing in mind, I've attached one of these devices that negates the electromagnetic fields on all of my electronic devices that I use regularly. So, I mean, at present, nothing coming up from here. But then again, it's not really doing much activity. But I know the Wi-Fi router is a big one, so let's see how this measures up. Yep, we're getting, ooh, this one's a big one. We're getting 0.5, 0.3, still quite a lot here. 1, so about the same as the phone. I need to apply one of those electromagnetic field reduction badges onto this, but still not too bad. Now the biggest one is their microwave. Okay. All right, so let's check out what the reading is on the microwave. Ready for this one? All right, so at present, nothing. Now, oh, this thing is blowing up. Oh my God. This is by far the worst. 1646, 64. Oh my God. And this even has the field. See, when I get closer to this device here, it cuts it out. But everywhere else, the microwave is the biggest EMF blower. All right, so now I'm going to try taking off this badge here and see what it's like without this thing on. All right, so let's try it again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. The microwave by far is the worst culprit. 80 mg. So you really want to avoid exposing yourself to this thing. Now the question is the kind of effect it has on food. So you know what? Let's do a test, guys. Let's see what happens when you microwave your noodles. See if it has any EMF radiation on it. Now currently, no EMF radiation on my food. Now, I'm gonna warm it up for 20 seconds or so. It's just, all right, so let's keep it going in there. It's still picking up quite a lot. Even at a couple of meters away, the radiation is, so about, you know what, about 1 meter away, the effect ceases. But, so the main thing if you're going to microwave your food is make sure you're standing about 2 feet away, and you should be fine from the EMF radiation. Ooh, okay. Now the microwaves have subsided, and now for the real test. Does my food emit any electromagnetic radiation? No. Well, that's good to know. Of course, that doesn't mean that I'm from the clear, in the clear, but Moral of the story is, one, the Bluetooth headset device is definitely better than having your cellular phone to your ear or even on the speaker device. And you definitely want to stay away from the Wi-Fi routers and the microwave. Make sure you're a couple of feet away from that. Now, granted, we weren't able to test the 5G tower at any close proximity. You can bet your bottom dollar that that's producing a lot of electromagnetic radiation. I've seen some other videos that show that even at a few feet, producing quite a lot. Now, moral of the story, try to minimize it, you know. Ultimately, this stuff is going to affect you, but you want to keep the levels down to an absolute minimum if you can, because we are flooded with electromagnetic radiation. This is the 21st century. Unless we can find a new way of fueling our systems, and there are out there. I mean, there are lots of free energy devices that are using clean energy, and it's a matter of bringing that onto the mainstream. But for now, try to minimize your exposure to EMF.
What is liberty?
What the? Who says you can't build muscle on a vegan diet?
What's it like being a hottie in the vegan community?
There are no political solutions, only technological ones.
The economics of the system don't allow multiple competing systems to survive.
Engineering, technology, these arts of humanity, they are magic.